In the coupe and told the roof bye-bye. I'm that guy that come through fly with a bad little mile off Rodeo Drive. Don Quan, I ain't never told no lie. Yeah, me without money's like a suit, no tie. Show me the money. Yeah, nigga, I'm coming for the dog. You ain't got nothing for me to see the dough. Hey, yo, show me the money. That's right, I'm coming for the cake. And I don't want the small checks, I want the safe. Show me the money. Don Quan, I'm coming for the guap. I've been patiently waiting, I'm about to pop. Show me the money. You know my money comes first, so the wound till I'm laying in the dirt. Yeah, show me the money.
This is NR International. Mr. Make It Rain, all rainy, and
Flawless Flaw. Peace, love.
y'all just got done listening to Don Quan Corleone. Man, Don Quan forever. If those who don't know, Don Quan was almost, you might as well say he was the Biggie of Uptown in Philadelphia, y'all. He was 19 years old, signed since the time of 12 years old. Bad Boy Entertainment, mixtapes underneath CTE, going back and forth while still in high school. West Coast, East Coast, back to the West Coast. Salute to DJ Quick, Don Cannon. Salute to the affiliates, ATL. That was a rapper who was actually on the rise. Unfortunately, he passed away 10 years ago. That was my heart. That was baby cousin, and we're gonna miss him. So I had to make sure I started off this show with Don Quan Corleone, as this was his life anniversary. And 3 days from now also marks the time period in which he also passed away. So make sure that prayers go to him. May God be merciful upon him. And also may continuous guidance and blessings be upon his family. We got to make sure that we continue to maintain the memories of those who are dear to us. Because we can sit there and promote and praise people halfway around the world on other coasts, but it means nothing if you're not doing it for your own. So money come first, organizing currency. This is for us. Salute Don Quan Corleone.
Rest in peace.
Rest in power.
Rest in power.
We got something special for y'all. We have special guests in the building.
Indeed we do.
Yes. I want to introduce to the world, we have LaQuanda Movement.
Hi world, how y'all doing?
And we have Janelle.
Hello everybody.
Little shy. You know, I didn't know we wanted to put the whole handle out there, so I just said Janelle. All right. So, right now, the last time I saw LaQuanda, it's been a while.
Yes, it has been a while.
The very first time that I saw that she actually introduced me to her show.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take the opportunity to bring you out to my show.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to NR International.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. So far.
Yeah. So we've heard that you have a launching party coming up. You have a brand new book that's out.
Yes, I do. My launch is April 27th, which I'm super excited about.
Yes.
Thank God it is sold out right now, so that's a blessing. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm very, very happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
You can still pre-order the book, though.
Pre-order the book. Okay.
On the day I said IDoToMe.com, which is also the name of the book, The Day I Said I Do to Me.
Yes. Now, I wanted to know, like, what is the name of the book? It says it definitely insinuates towards, this is my dedication to me, who I am as a person. But I want to know Like where did the name of the book come from? And I wanted to know like what's the premise? Like
What's the journey behind the book?
I'll tell you.
What's the journey behind
Okay,
it?
good. I'm glad you asked. Okay, so number one, first of all, I started this book like 4 years ago, and then I stopped. I kept putting it off. And when I initially wrote it, it was called Moms Have Dreams Too.
Okay.
And I didn't feel comfortable with releasing it or finishing it because I didn't feel like I was living the dream that I was talking about at that point. And then as time progressed, the title changed. You know what I mean? You know how, because after years or a few years or whatever, you begin to evolve.
Absolutely.
Okay? And with that evolution, the title changed to The Day I Said I Do to Me. So with that, you asked about the story, so I'll give you the story behind it. I'm a wife, I'm a mom. And then I was also a little confused about what I wanted to do with myself.
Okay.
So you know how sometimes, I don't know if you have kids or not. You do?
No.
No. Okay. Kimberly, you have kids?
No.
No, you have kids?
I have.
Oh, she got kids. Okay, so
Yes.
you know. But so sometimes, not even if you just have kids, but sometimes you get lost because you're spreading yourself so thin and you're giving everybody all these
Part of
pieces
you.
of yourself, right? And then, you know, you try to conform and you try to please everybody. And as women, that's natural. Even if you don't have kids, it's natural for you to care about people more than you care about
Nurturers.
yourself, because that's
Yeah.
what we are. We're nurturers. And so in the balance of all of that, I got a little bit lost. And so this book was like, I said it before, it was like an awakening. And it was like digging me up from all the things I buried myself with, whether they were good things or whether they were bad things.
Right.
You know, it was still a part of me that was lost. And even as I've written this book, I am still on a journey because all of me has not been fully uncovered because we're always constantly evolving. So I appreciate it. It's a reminder that I have to keep saying I do. I have to keep digging back for the things that were buried, you know, until they keep coming out.
Well,
You know? So that's how it was earthed.
Well, it sounds to me, it sounds like a graduation.
Yeah.
Because you told me this. You said it took 4 years in the making, right?
Oh, come on.
Can't
You
rush
like-
so-
perfection.
Oh, come
You
on.
can't rush perfection.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. Like I've always said, like cognitive thought, right? The people who make up school curriculum say that every 4 years is another layer of yourself.
Yeah, I
So-
see where you're going, picking up what you're putting down.
So every 4 years, we start off from elementary school. You go from first grade to fourth grade, and then fifth grade to eighth grade, and then from fourth grade to eighth grade. Then from ninth grade to 12, and then afterwards 4 years of college, hopefully higher learning.
Yeah.
So in this case right here, it's like this is 4 years, a 4 year journey of momhood,
Yeah.
digging to find who you are at that particular moment, and then graduating. So as you said, you were still working. You were still going through, okay, and I know that feeling. I know the feeling of I would like to put something out there to the world, but first I have to make sure that I've reached a goal. I have made
Right.
sure I've reached something that the people can be able to grasp onto and say, you know what, I like what she's doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. True. That is so very true. And that's and then one of the things, one of the first things, the very first chapter in the book, which I love, it's realizing your dream. And in that, I do have a worksheet with it, and it works you through just digging into who you are. Because sometimes when we get older, we kind of forget. Sometimes you can just forget, what do I even like? You know, you get so
Life
lost
hits
in
you.
other
Listen,
people.
trials and
right?
tribulations.
Yes, they
Yeah.
hit, and you're like, I don't even know what I like anymore. Am I just doing this because I'm so used to it, or do
Conditioned.
I? Yeah, and you know, it becomes so routine and so mundane. So it takes you through rediscovering, you know, what you really like. Who are you?
Before you had kids,
Before.
before you were married,
Yes,
You know,
before the
before
challenges.
even entering into society's opinion. You
Exactly.
know, we were who we were originally. And I think that it's
Exactly.
important that as a woman we stay true to who we are.
Exactly. That's paramount, because what happened was, as I was going through Discover, and then you all can also download my free ebook. It's called From the Day I Said I Do to Me.com. You can also download that there. But in that, I made a very important discovery, which was also important when doing the book. It took me to a point where I was chasing my purpose and chasing a dream so much, and I couldn't find it, and it was frustrating. It was extremely frustrating. And so what I had to do was stop asking myself my purpose. And I had to start asking myself, who am I? And that, as simple as it is, it was very profound.
Absolutely.
Because my purpose, I felt like I was on a rat chase and I couldn't find it. But it was tangibility and me looking inward to figure out who I am, what I like. You know what I mean? What things make me tick.
What makes you you?
Yeah, what makes me me? What makes me unique? And so in that first chapter, what we do is I ask the women to find a place, find a corner. My place just so happens to be my car.
Listen, I was right there with you. Yes.
Because I feel like my house, that's our house.
Right.
You know?
You just need something for you, your space,
Like
your
that-
bubble, as I call it.
My
little
car,
bubble.
I promise you,
The
I
think
sit in
tank.
there at least 35 or 45 minutes before I leave the house. Oh, every day. Every day.
And that's
Every
not
day.
bad. You
Yeah.
know, that's a lot. Of,
It-
when you get the hours like me, that's just
Yeah.
like, you already in there?
Yeah. Right. And so I go in there and I'm like, just take a moment and acting, because I like acting. We'll get into that, I guess, a little bit sooner later. They have this exercise called the Meisner technique, where you use emotional recall to kind of channel your character. In this sense, we don't use it to channel a character, but we use it to attach ourselves to an emotion that we experience when we experience joy and when we experience happiness. But it is nothing but being quiet and meditating, thinking, surrounding yourself with things that you like. Like, you know, if you like sipping coffee, you know what I mean, that makes you calm. If you like mellow music, if you like the ocean waves, get to that space, you know, where
Be
you're
in that
completely
moment.
comfortable. And then just take a trip back in your own mind and figure out and have at the top of your mind, before you go into that relaxed state, what do I love? What did I ever like? You know, set yourself, meditate on it, and then begin to write those things down. It's a worksheet that kind of walks you through the process. And so before we even dig into that, I try to dig into us, the essence of who we are. So yes.
I love it. I actually can't wait to read it.
Oh, thank
Yep.
you.
You have a supporter.
Oh, amen. Thank you. Thank you. So it was really interesting, you know, to kind of finally complete the work. And I'll tell you that what prompted me to finish it, because I feel like I'm still writing it, you know.
Might be
And
a
there's
part
still
two.
more.
Volume two
Is,
coming
is there a volume 2? Yeah, coming out.
I don't know. I don't know. But what prompted me to finish it was, I lost my mom when I was young. Not too young, but I was 21. And
That's you.
I'm a lot older than 21 now.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell y'all. Okay, I'm going to let y'all figure it out
It's
and
okay.
do
You don't
math.
look like it. Don't tell on yourself. You know that melanin is great
Okay,
now.
come on, yeah, come on, yes. Yes, flawless. Okay.
That's right.
That's her name for real. But so I lost my mom when I was 21. And she was a single mom. I did come from a large family, but still losing your mom, I don't have any siblings or anything, is very impactful. So my grandmother was like my mom when my mom passed away. And in November 18th to be exact, 2018, I lost my grandma. And, you know, for some reason, both of them, I thought I learned a lesson from my mom, because I was like, I guess I expected them to live forever. So I took the time I had with them for granted. And I thought I kind of conditioned myself for that when I lost my mom. But when my grandmom passed away, I realized I wasn't.
You can't prepare yourself for that.
You can't prepare for it no matter what. And so, very weird. My grandma had 6 sisters. I come from a very tight, close family. So my grandma passed November 18th. Her other sister passed 2 weeks after that. Her other sister passed 2 weeks after that.
Oh my gosh.
And so that, I'm not gonna cry.
Don't do it. If you do, we got some tissues over here and the shoulder right here.
But those things prompted me to finish, because and they were of a good age, you know, so it's not like,
Right.
but you're still never prepared, no matter what, because my grandmom, she was full of life. She wasn't even sick, to our knowledge. She was fine. She went into the hospital because she had a fall, all this time they were saying she had arthritis. She had bone cancer. She died within a week from being fine, from being absolutely fine. So it was very traumatic. And then for her sisters to go and us all rallying together to, put the funerals together and do the videos and do all those types of things. And those incidents, those deaths prompted me to finish what I started, because I don't subscribe to the notion of life being short. I think life is unpredictable. And so I feel like we have to maximize every hour, every second, every moment that we get to exist. And so those deaths, they prompted me to just be more intentional about what I'm doing with my time here. So, and even now, I have to challenge myself to be more purposeful and to fulfill the things that are in my heart, no matter what they are. You know what I mean? Because certain people have all these, I don't mean to keep talking, so just jump in. People have all these different ideas about what success is, but to me, success is accomplishing the goal that you set out.
Absolutely.
So if this is what you set out to do and you accomplish it, then to me, you have achieved success.
Right.
And for me, I just want to be successful and leave out empty. I don't want to go and have all these ideas and thoughts and dreams, and in my heart, like, your heart aches when you're not fulfilling your purpose. Like, it really aches, you know what I mean? It really aches when you're not doing what you feel like you should be doing. And then sometimes we don't do it because we don't think the outcome is going to be this huge outcome that's going to generate millions of dollars, but we have to do it regardless.
Absolutely.
So, I'm sorry, I know I talked a lot.
No, I mean, that's the journey of life. Like, see, it's mentioned, right? I look at life as though you have a reason and you have a purpose. My personal reason of living is that everything that we do is supposed to be in the praise of God. Right? From the time period that we wake up to the time period we go to sleep, it's all supposed to be a reflection of the one that created you. The purpose of life, though, that's the reason. The purpose of life is whatever is meant for you to achieve. And there's a statement that says the greatest of mankind are those who are a benefit to mankind. But you cannot be a benefit until you recognize who it is that you are within yourself first.
Right.
And so your personal accomplishments, every day that you check off another accomplishment on your list, it's like you are now coming closer and closer to fulfilling everything that by the time that you want to give up the ghost, you can say, I've done my job.
And I just want to commend you as being a mother and as being a wife, because I know with both of those roles, you're conditioned to put those that you love before your own wants, your own desires. And I know how draining that can be when you are feeling lost. So the power that you had to have in order to see this book through, if anyone has not told you yet, I am proud of you.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
It
I
takes
appreciate
much
that.
patience.
I see it.
Yeah, thank you.
I see it.
Thank
Patience and consistency.
I appreciate it. I receive it. Amen.
Absolutely.
For sure. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because we hear a popular mantra is put yourself first. Right. I could not subscribe to it. I couldn't. For some reason, it was so hard for me to subscribe to that, because I have a daughter. You know, my husband is fine. He's a grown man. He take care of himself. But I'm like, my daughter, I'm supposed to put myself before my daughter. And so I couldn't subscribe to it. And I really still don't. What I
Because you're
had
looking
to
at it as
do.
a piece of you.
Right. No, it's not a piece of me, but what I had to do, and I talk about this in the book, and I was like, people going to probably try to chop my head up. But I had to find like a place for me, whether it was her first today, me second tomorrow, me third today, but I had to find a place, and I had to fight for that place and not give up my place for anything else. So if my place was 6 o'clock, then your place is 3 to 4. You may be first, but my place is 6, or if my place today is 9. So A, B, C, and D may be all first, second, and third today, but at 9 o'clock, That's my place, and I can't forfeit it with sleep. I can't
Anybody.
forfeit it with any other thing. Put me on do not disturb.
I love that. And for those who are listening,
It's mommy time.
that's a good way to think about it. You know, I am a very selfless person, so I had a hard time myself, but I was
Yeah.
given good advice, and someone told me that no one is going to do for you like you are going to do for you.
Right.
Not your mom, not your dad, not your husband, not the kids, not your aunts and uncles and best friends. And even being a mom, it's important that you do for self because you are that foundation. So if there is no you, what are you going to do for your kids and your husband?
Exactly.
So you have to make sure that you're fulfilled. It is so important that the balance is maintained
Yes.
because they depend on you.
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay. I'm getting all kinds of life in here today.
Yeah. And look, it's said that the beginning of the nation begins with the mother, right? There's another saying that says that paradise lies at the feet of the mothers. But the thing is that you are raising the next generation. You're raising the future. And you can only give the purity that's within you, the mercy that's within you, the love, the compassion, the gentleness, the kindness, the intelligence.
Yeah.
That light that shines within your heart, you can only give that if you have it. But if it starts to dim, you have to be
If
able to
you
go to
have
that
it,
personal
yes.
place
Yeah.
and say, okay, well, it's time to recharge real quick.
Right.
Once I
exactly.
recharge, now I'm giving it back, and then it's going to pass on from, after you're gone. In the same way that your grandmothers did. And that's the beautiful part about it. The time period that they were here, they were able to give that light to you
They
and to the
did.
rest of the family.
And that they did. They let a bright light. A bright one.
So
yeah.
that's what we're talking about. We're talking about making sure that everyone is right within themselves, right within their hearts, within their minds, their souls, so that they can be able to pass on that power, pass on that strength that you have as a woman. Because as a man, I have to say that we gain our mercy, our kindness, our love and compassion. We gain that from y'all. Other than that,
You did.
we're
Yes,
That's how it works.
men are natural destroyers. Right? Men know how to destroy. Women know how to create.
Yes, yes,
So-
yes, we do. We create. We make mountains out of molehills. We make. We take
Something out of
everything
nothing.
and magnify it. We make $1 out of 15 cents.
Exactly.
Come on.
And we make
Oh,
a
yeah.
house a home.
Yes, we
most
do.
importantly.
Yes, we
And
do.
I know that in this generation, in a generation before this, we aren't necessarily taught to live in our truth. You know, a lot of us come from broken homes. I think
Yeah.
that it's phenomenal that your kids have the benefit and the pleasure of having both parents in one roof. So
Absolutely.
with you being
It's
able
almost
to
an oddity.
teach your child
Right.
how to put herself first and how to self-love, that's amazing because that's a gift that keeps giving. Once
Yeah.
you love yourself and you really know how to honor yourself and put yourself first before the opinions of others, before the wants of others, and you teach your child, boy or girl, to stay true to them, they will be well-rounded in this world and know how to navigate because they're not looking for exception or validation.
Validation, right? Acceptance. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. I almost think my daughter's a little bit too self-loving.
It's impossible.
I'm like, well, okay. Thank you for your self-loving, but you gotta do it. Can we give this hopeless person over here please? I'm not thinking. She is definitely. But yes, I'm just being funny. But she is a little too self-loving. We're gonna pray for her. We're gonna pray for
the
baby. But yes, everything you said, right on target. Amen.
Amen. Well, let's get to the first music that we have on the playlist. Let's talk about that strength, wisdom, and courage.
Strength, courage,
Strength,
and
courage,
yes,
and-
wisdom.
There you go.
It's been inside.
I'm not a singer. I'm a rapper. I'm gonna let you do that.
All along.
Yeah, and every day I pray for.
Courage and hey, hey, hey.
Welcome back to NR International. This is Mr. Make It Rain, Nord Rainey, and
Flawless Flaw, peace, love.
we here with Janelle and Laquanda Movement.
Yes.
She just got done telling us about her book, and we was listening to Kanye West Champion, and you just got done listening also to
Strength,
Courage
Courage and Wisdom
by India
Ari.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful vibe in here. We love it. We love it. Frequencies are right. The vibes are right. It's like one of the things that I always say is that, especially dealing with strength, courage, and wisdom, is that these are the things in which every black woman has within them. And the thing is that every black woman is fighting her own particular battle in all different types of ways, whether it be, as a mother, you're trying to make sure that you have everything right within the household, making sure that your children are being raised correctly.
Right.
Actually, we just came back from, and shout out to Riza Islam, and also to
Big shout out to Riza.
To Tony James, film director. They just had a preview and premiere of a documentary pertaining to autism and vaccinations. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, this is pertaining to protecting our youth, protecting the next generation, and how babies are actually being provoked to have autism based off of some of the chemicals that's placed within these vaccinations. How we can defeat that, and I mean, as a parent, like, it's amazing how many things that you have to be on top of and to be aware of.
Right.
And so, like, knowledge and strength, courage, wisdom, like, all of these come into place on an everyday basis. And it's like when I said earlier, when you said that it seems as though you don't really get a chance to deal with yourself or have quality time for yourself, I mentioned is because your daughter is another you. You're passing. You not only have you passed down genes, but you're passing down that wisdom. You're passing down all of the traits that are within you. Teaching by action first, and then of course by way of the tongue, by way of what you tell them.
Right.
And she will grow to be her own person.
True.
But you are the foundation.
This is
the backbone of the family.
This is so true. And you know what? It's funny that you said that, because prior to me doing the book, I did a journal. I created a journal, and the journal was called For My Daughter. And I did one for my son as well, but for my daughter, because again, my mom passed away when I was 21, and when she passed away, it was so much stuff about life that I just had no idea. I didn't have the opportunity to ask her, and I was like, Dad, I wish I could have had something.
Right.
So I created the journal for parents to leave lessons about life to their kids, and not only for if you pass away or something like that, but it's like a nice little keepsake if you do live, and they can just look back on, oh, Mom, that's what you were thinking about at that time, or whatever the case may be. But the initial purpose was to be able to leave lessons about life for kids, because like I said, life is so unpredictable. We don't know when, so it's nice to have a little keepsake, some notes about different situations. And sometimes you be scared to ask your parents stuff. You don't want to ask them, like, Mom, I like this boy. Can you, I'm supposed to holler at him. Should I wait for him to holler at me? Or, you know what I mean? Or, some work, the feminine stuff, And should I use tampons or pads? Like, what? How do I put it in?
We've all been there as ladies. We've all been there.
All right, nobody want to ask their parents that kind of stuff. Right. But listen, if you have this journal and you really want to tell your kids, but you don't really want to tell them, you can write it down. Give them a step-by-step instruction how to.
Take it.
Yes. So what you said about leaving lessons and stuff like that, that is something that I did with the journal. And it was funny because I never really promoted the journal like that, but people found it on Amazon. So, and
Amazon. Get that journal.
Amazon.com, or you can visit my website at www.laquandamovement.com, and that is MOVEMEANT movement.com. Why? Because everything you do, every move you make should mean something.
There you go.
Them jewels first. Drop them jewels. Do it.
That was perfect right there.
Yeah.
But no, like when you talk about the words, but even from what you do, like this particular generation lacks. I mean,
A lot.
a lot. Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Especially like women who can be able to say like, I've done this. I've accomplished this. Your list of accomplishments is actually bringing out for your daughter, ability to say, well, I know my mother did this, this. Like, I mean, we've already just gone through speaking about how many, you got 2 books on Amazon right now, right? Along with your website. And then at the same time,
She's an actress.
she's and a playwright.
Therefore, I am.
Exactly. And tell him again. Exactly.
So, and you had your own show. So it's like, these are all things that it's like, every child wants to be greater or beat in some type of way their parents. To say.
And every parent wants their child
to be greater than them. And I believe
Exactly.
every child wants to be as great as their parent.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Because for me, like my daughter, I obviously I would love for her. I'm a late bloomer, okay? I'm a late bloomer in that I didn't really, and the book talks about this, I didn't fully understand what I wanted to do with myself until like when I hit my 30s. Like, you know what I mean?
But that's nothing wrong with that.
If
I feel
I
like
mid to late 30s.
society tries to put us
Yeah.
all on like one timing
This
and look at the
time
time and look at the time, but it's just like, no, your time is perfect. You are going at your pace,
Right,
and that's
exactly.
fine.
Exactly. That
You found
is
yourself when you knew it was
so
destined.
when it was destined for me to find
Right.
it. And so what I was trying to do, obviously as a parent, is to kind of put my daughter on the discovery path sooner, and to allow her to understand that your goals, dreams, and things like that are attainable. Because a lot of times I think we equate so much success with making a certain amount of money, and money is excellent because we need it to go around, but there are so many different career paths and journeys that are out there that we get caught up on the mainstream ones that we don't
Think
even
about the
explore.
self-fulfillment.
We don't explore the self-fulfillment. We don't explore, I want to be a doctor. So people will automatically think, okay, I may be delivering babies or something like that. But, you can be an endocrinologist. It's about 30 or 40 different types of doctors that you can be. So my thing is, I wanted to be able to set my daughter up on this discovery path where, listen, it's not just doctor and lawyer and things like that.
Right.
It's a whole world out. It's a whole world out there and you can accomplish those things. Because when I was younger, and I really liked acting, I just didn't know that was something you could do. I didn't think it was. I can go to school and learn how to do that. I didn't think I was supposed
Make
to
a
do
career
that.
of it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're not supposed to go to college. Accent? What? I didn't think that. I thought, you had to go for more serious things. So exposure for kids
Definitely.
nowadays is essential, to their development and to their, to their purpose and things like that. So I say to your parents, expose, and to us, expose ourselves some more.
Absolutely.
And for any kids who are listening, or young ones who are listening, understand that you do not have to go out in the world and bend to its will.
Right.
You can be
Oh, that's
successful. You can make money by bringing the world to you. If it is something that you like to do, like if that was a passion of yours. It doesn't matter if you were making skits, if you are just doing local things to get your actress name out there, and then it's spread worldwide. It's all about the seed. And as long as we plant the seeds in them and allow them to believe that they can do whatever it is that they want to do, no matter what it is, and be comfortable in that and accepting. It's kids out here who are like 12 making millions of dollars using at the house with their parents, just by a telephone. So it's just like, you don't have to conform to the world. You can bring the world to you and still be successful.
Absolutely.
That, first of all, that's a quote and a hashtag that I'm going to say. You don't have to conform to the world.
You got it.
But you can bring the world to you. Okay.
Exactly.
That was the preach right there. You a preacher?
I do what I do. You know? I do what I do. Just a little
That
extra.
was good, honey. But somebody give us out the cash app you $1. Okay, word.
Like, give me my cash app. I'll let y'all know.
The flawless flaw.
Exactly.
That was nice. I love that. I'm silly too, so sorry. Don't forgive me. Don't judge me.
Oh no.
No
it's-
judgment.
Serious and silly all at the same time.
That's right.
We all in good spirit here.
Yeah. So look, can I ask y'all a question?
Absolutely.
What dreams did you have?
Well, actually,
And if you're watching, chime in. What was your dreams?
Definitely.
What dreams did you have?
Let us know.
okay. Well, when I was very young, my thing was I wanted to be, I guess, 007.
I love that game.
So-
Nintendo 64.
But the thing about 007 was that he was a gentleman, and he was a person who was able to do whatever he wanted to do.
And he was sharp.
He was always
With them
sharp. No matter what was going on, he was
He
always
was sharp.
So, right now, I guess I'm still living that way. I'm able to travel the world and go to different places and still stay sharp.
Okay. Okay.
But to be completely honest, when it comes down to everybody was fed to be a lawyer, be a doctor. Well, I studied, medicine. Well, not medicine, but physical structure. When I was studying martial arts, that became something which was just, something to be able to do. Learn the skeletal system.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, to learn the muscular system. It made it easy for me to be a personal trainer, which
Okay.
I'm still a personal trainer. When it comes down to, there's a lot of things.
trained.
I was about to say, hit him up, y'all.
Okay.
Personal chains. Hit that
Absolutely.
cash app.
Okay.
Make sure y'all check out the Make It Rain workout on YouTube.
I don't know. That
Developing
sound,
it.
is that PG-13? We
right.
did this
You
workout
don't get
in
it.
Onyx or
Exactly. With the stripper poles in the background.
exactly what this second rate workout. Is my husband going to allow me to do this with other people? I don't know.
Should the kids go down the room? Should the kids in the other room
How
real
do you
quick?
dress for this workout?
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted your dreams. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying like it was a different set of dreams. But it's like a lot of the things in which I was able to look into. I was still able to extract the parts, which was good, and make it work for me now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like once I got to be around the age of my teenage years, actually it was a friend of mine who had a dream of, we're gonna start up our own record label.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, well, fortunately, we was able to make a lot of different connections. Definitely shout out to Bobby Dance, rest in peace. Shout out to everybody who used to work for, all of the juvenile clubs back in the day, the Illusions and the list goes on. But we actually started to set up that where different radio DJs were around our neighborhood. Cosmic Kev, Anwar the Star, who's now down ATL, King Solomon, Keith Unique, King Cool DJ Frank, some of the elders of DJing within the city of Philadelphia, and based off of that, they actually started to introduce us to different people when we were young. Unfortunately, though, I had to do time, and that's when we first met. When I was just coming home, and you invited myself and Ed to come to your show.
Okay, yeah.
But from that time period, it was like I utilized all of those different pieces to still make up the complete me that I am today.
All right. Okay.
Give it up.
You think you want to do the music anymore?
Yeah, well, I got a label. My label is A Block Corporation. I'm in our management of promotions. So,
Okay. I didn't know.
so
He making
Can't
a rain.
give up
Y'all
on
ain't
it,
making
yeah.
a rain.
Yeah, I'm
All
calling
right.
I still, A Block Corporation, AB 267, one of the youngest out of the camp. Management also with Sheliano, CEO, Corporation. We have Corporation Clothing Company also along with that. So,
Okay.
everything
So
that we
come
need
get
to
some
do.
hoodies
Alright,
and t-shirts. You know
come
what
on.
I'm saying? Corporation.
Yes, that's awesome.
Anything that, right now, my outlook on life is anything that we dream that we're able to do, go ahead, go for it.
I'm here for that.
And do it. Don't say you're gonna do
Yeah.
it. Like, don't
Don't
wait on
procrastinate.
nobody.
Don't
Exactly.
procrastinate.
Like, just make it happen.
Anyone
Make it
who wait,
happen.
you wait for the next man, you're gonna run late every time.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, if you have the dream, find out the finances first, of course.
Right.
Find out knowledge precedes speech and action. So make sure that you have knowledge of what you're getting
precedes-
involved.
Knowledge precedes what?
Speech and action.
Knowledge precedes speech and action. Okay, another quotable moment. Okay, I'm hashtag that too.
I got something for you right now.
Okay.
And then don't forget that proper preparation prevents poor performance.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Somebody got their alliteration dance.
Peter Piper.
How about look at the sorry, no, that's not me.
Boom.
Boom, drop the mic.
Drop the mic. Exactly.
What were your dreams?
Okay, so I dreamt to be 3 things only, and I just recently realized that I can still be all in one, and that I never had to choose. So when I was very, very young, my dream was to be an activist, a rapper, and an assassin.
Okay, hold on. Let me be nice. I'm not gonna. Y'all don't got my address when they do the yoga.
If need be, but
She said she wanted.
for good reasons. Okay, let's just say the activist and the assassin goes hand in hand. Okay,
Oh,
Like a
activist.
Robin Hood
you
type
gotta break that
jump
down
out.
to us.
All right, so like, I'm all for, I had a dream, but I'm all for by any means necessary. So in the
so
time of
Martin
war,
and Malcolm.
Revolutionary.
Okay. Yeah, Martin and Malcolm. Okay.
You was like Che Guevara.
but I was like,
The
y'all know the
female
Boondocks, right?
Yeah.
You want to
Huey.
be. You want to be Huey.
Yeah, and I used to have like a big ponytail on top of my head, so it worked for me. It really did. Don't ask me questions. It worked for me, and so I'd be running around a little house.
Hide your BB guns, yo.
No, I didn't have that. Listen, I knew where the gun was at since the age of 5. Honestly, my mom was full with me. Okay, so I was raised by a single mother. So
Right.
my mother's motto was, and excuse my French, but I'm fluent, you won't need a nigga for shit. I knew how to drive by the time I was like 12. I was actually reaching. I was tall. So it was just like, I knew how to break down a gun. I knew where it was at the house, and I knew all of the safeties about it.
As every child
Should.
growing up should, because this is what they're teaching within the mountains. This is what they're teaching within the country. Where not talking about other country, we're talking about this country here, United
Yeah.
States of America. It's unfortunate that our particular people are, those of melanated, of the melanated, deeper melanated tones. We're looking at it as though it is deeper than what it is as far as violence is concerned. We need to look at it from what it's supposed to be meant for, which is protection, which is also sport. When you go to the gun range and things of this nature, this is
I'll
something.
argue this point, but
This
I don't
is-
want to step on your dream.
But I mean, the thing is that I was also raised the same way as a Boy Scout. I was Boy Scout of America.
Girl Scout.
I was Boy Scout of America 1992.
Tell your age, go ahead.
And so therefore I was a proficient archer, and I know how to shoot anything that you place in front of me, and I learned that at a very early age. But the thing is that because of the respect of the factor that I had of the rifle and other guns which was placed in front of me, I had never had a problem being gun ho, running around saying, "Oh, this, I got a gun, I got a gun, I got a gun." No,
I just think that in the wrong environment, it can be dangerous, as we see today. But that's another topic that we don't have to. It's never ever hold. We don't have to go down today because yeah, amen.
Amen.
But come on. Yeah.
Well, just understanding that I've always been passionate, like even as a child, and I knew right from wrong, and I still do. And so
Right.
I'm not scared to die for something that I believe in. And for someone, I'm talking about like at the age of 5, 6, 7,
That's important.
with this same mentality, I only evolved, but who I am never really changed. I still write music. It's like I've been writing music my entire life, and it's just initially it was my way to vent and cope because I didn't do well with people, and it's just like I don't trust people. I'm just an introvert. But being the businesswoman that I am today and a rapper, I put my true self aside, and then I'm a social butterfly, and I be what I need to be for the company, understanding the sacrifice that I have to make for the bigger purpose, which is my family. Which is, okay, well, when I make it, we make it. If I have to do this, I'm understanding that, one, my mom raised a warrior. Like,
Right.
I keep my composure. Can't nobody really get under my skin, but I'm always professional. And I constantly talk about the professional that I am, because you don't really see a lot of proper professional etiquette in Philadelphia. And even when people talk to me, they're like, you don't sound like you from Philly. I don't sound like I'm from Philly.
What does that sound like exactly?
Should I be insulted? Like, are you going to tell me that is this my hair next? I just, like, condescending remarks from people. And it's just like, I realized to say yes to me because so many people said no. And understanding that even children in this society, like as a parent, we don't know what our child goes through after they leave this house. We don't know what they're subjected through in school. We don't know what their friends are putting them through. And so I dealt with like a lot of adversities in life. And me being the person that I am, I keep a lot of things in. I don't share a bunch of me with just anybody. And so I was very analytical, and I broke things down. And my thing is like, not only do I want to be better, I want to show better. I'm going to be the example. I'm not going to just be a hypocrite and say, oh, I'm going to be the living proof and lift while I climb. And so a rapper / activist, which even if you listen to my music, I give you what you want, but I speak consciousness and I speak life into people. And so, and I also admit in my bars, you know, please don't disrespect me because, you know,
and she's licensed to carry.
Exactly. And I didn't have to say it.
And she's working on that security license, y'all. Shout out to Soul Tactical Security who's now watching. You see her?
I know.
What about you, Nelly?
Oh, wow. Well, initially growing up, I wanted to be a pediatrician and a veterinarian, among other things, because I was always creative as well. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to be the pediatrician. However, with my a doctorate, but I do have my doctorate in street knowledge and parenting. And I have 6 children.
Okay.
Yes, I do, and I love them very much. I'm not a big pet fan anymore, but I will pet them and cuddle a cat, and then it can go. But I've also been creative, and me and LaQuanda movement. I remember we used to play on her porch, and we used to make up things, and she'd be like, "Come on, Nelly, let's do this, let's do that." And I've wanted to start my own business. And I wanted to be in the corporate world. However, unfortunately, I couldn't be in the corporate world.
Corporate ain't all what it's cracked up to be, believe me.
Yeah.
Unless it's your own shout out corporation.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's
I'll set you up. Holla at me.
Yeah, she will.
Corporation, us versus them.
Right, and so currently now I'm working towards my own. Building my own. Having my own LLC, which is Alignment. ALIGNMEANT.
Nice.
Because yes, we need to get aligned and be able to love and support one another in our growth and network. So that's pretty much it about me.
So she does administrative support. So she didn't mention that, but so her business is alignment, but aligning your administrative tasks. A lot of times, as entrepreneurs, especially solo entrepreneurs, it's so much to do. Like you already know. So my phrase for myself, if you go to visit my website, LaQuandaMovement.com, I am the administrative creative because I'm hyper administrative and I am also hyper creative. And a lot of times, which is excellent because a lot of creatives aren't organized.
Right.
So what I could do is, so from a production standpoint, if I put up a play, when I do, I can do everything.
It's coming.
No, I do.
When?
I do. I do them. And I've traveled with a lot of people. I work with a ton of people. I've directed everybody from like T-Boz, Kiki Wyatt. I work with them. I work with a lot of people in that arena. But I can run everything from the production management to the schedules to the stage management. Then if I have to act, I can get on stage and act too. So us solo entrepreneurs couldn't get it because so many times we got to do everything, especially as a solo entrepreneur. Like if you go to my website, LaQuandaMovement.com, I design my own website. I gotta do my own business cards. And I don't want to have to do that.
But you understand that if you don't, no one will.
If you have to do it right, then you go on. Then you go on and you go on and do it. So with that, a part of the administrative creative, I do accountability services. Accountability is the next thing I do for businesses. and I'm a bully. I hate to admit it. So I am a bully, but I don't make people do stuff. I make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's where my bullying comes into play. So if you have like a business idea or a creative idea, so everything is not just for the business person or the solo entrepreneur, but also for the person that just has an idea. I help people from the think tank through to the implementation and execution of their idea from start to finish.
All right, girl.
Yes. So it's like we all do a bunch of different things. We all do a bunch of different things.
wear
Shout out
many
to
hats.
us.
Yeah.
Shout out to us.
Shout out.
Wearers
Okay,
of many
shout out.
hats.
Yes. So yeah. You can hit me up for a free consultation if you need one. LaQuandaMovement.com. LaQuandaMovement.com.
Yes.
You hear it. So, on that note, we're going to go into the next commercial music break.
And what we got? Which one of my favorites? Oh God.
Hey, we're going to listen to Chance the Rapper, Kanye West, and we're going to get into all we got, because that's all we got.
Music is all we got.
Music is all we got.
So we might as well give it all we got.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Gotta throw on one of the Philly finesses.
And we back. 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 And we and we back. And we back. Yeah.
Welcome back to NR International. This is Mr. Make It Rain, Noah Rainey, and
Flawless Flaw. Peace, love.
y'all just listened to All We Got by Kanye and Chance the Rapper.
It's Chance the Rapper featuring Kanye.
Featuring Kanye.
produced the track.
Right.
Let's don't play with
She's
my
like,
Chance.
she's like, get it right. Make sure y'all
I
get
love
it right.
Chance. But she would give me a oh, I'm married. I forgot. Sorry.
Then we live.
I'm sorry. You ain't hear that,
Let her plead her case. She just won't plead the fifth. Go ahead, just plead the fifth.
I didn't say nothing.
Like, but did you see the good part of the show?
That's
Why
her
you only
story. She's
talking
sticking
about
to it.
that part? That was like 5 seconds.
So we here with LaQuanda Movement, right? And man, this woman does a lot. But what we want to leave off with, we want to make sure that y'all go right on. Make sure you tell them what date to come out for the launch party.
Well, the launch is sold out.
The launch is sold out.
Praise the Lord.
You
So
hear
we
it?
can't even go.
You know what? But this is a Muslim space, so I'm not gonna shout in here. I'm gonna keep it diplomatic, and I'm not gonna give the Lord praise, but I'm praising Him in my mind though. Sorry. I'm joking.
Father God.
Yes. I'm joking, but seriously, it's sold out, and I definitely am so grateful about that. But you can pre-order your book by going to, which is the book title, "The Day I Said I Do to Me.com." You could also like my social media for the book, which is also The Day I Said to Me, The Day I Said I Do to Me.com on Instagram and Facebook. Or you can just follow me too. My name's LaQuanda Movement, and I am on social media as well.
That's LAQUANDA underscore.
Yeah, underscore.
Make sure you get that underscore.
Hit the underscore.
MOVEANT.
Well, he left off the M, but it's okay.
No, I said
MOVE.
MOVEMENT.
You only have one in there.
AND.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
there we go.
I give him a pass because he just got out not too long ago.
Still getting together, y'all. Still getting
I don't know what
together.
the educational system was like in here, so I'm just gonna let him have it time.
It's all right.
You know what time we got to self-teach. We got to self-teach. Each one teach one. So make sure that y'all look into that book. Follow her movement, because she's doing a lot, and when she finds more to do on the list, she's gonna do that too, and you're gonna watch her.
Come on, speak it.
Watch the elevation
Watch
and the
that.
growth.
Right.
Yes, I received it.
And normally around this time, what we do is we do a quote for the day. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go to this quote coming from Stephen Covey, where he has in his book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He
Great
says,
book, by the way.
begin with the end in mind.
Yes.
And that's what we've been talking about through this entire show. We've been talking about the end in mind. Having that list, having what is it that you really want to do? What do you have in your soul? Find your purpose. And then once you find your purpose, make it happen. Make it happen.
Start hard and end hard.
Exactly. And once you've done that, I mean, it's a feeling of contentment, and the greatest wealth is self-contentment. And that's how you want to leave this world. Self-content, making sure you've done everything that you needed to do and pass it on to the next generation.
Exactly. So lift
It's
while
their
you climb,
inheritance.
people. Lift while you climb.
Uh-huh.
You got knowledge. Each one teach one.
Each
Leave
one
them
teach
people.
one. And so that makes our time here at Take It to the Streets Radio. Make sure you tune in every Thursday at 5:30 p.m. 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. Every Thursday, this is where we're giving you the best in community, politics, entertainment, culture, and the arts.
This is
Mr. Make It Rain, Noel Rainey.
and Flawless Flaw. And thank you for tuning in to NR International. Peace, love.
No war is good, so how was a good fight? Bombs dropping, Arabs can't have a good night. In the streets, people dying in the hood fight. Everybody hustling, trying to reach the good life. But to experience joy, you need pain. To enjoy the sun, they gotta rain. You know the saying, one loss is another's gain. There's a baby born, one person gets slain. People do whatever, just to get paid, You floss in good weather, diamonds and earrings. A hater run across your neck with a switchblade. They built the jails just to throw us in. Teaching a grown man discipline, by numbers they position him. Brothers and family is missing them. People dead or in jail, we missing them.
Let's change. If I could, I would make a difference. Live forever. Can we make a change? Make this world a better place. And make a difference. Let's make
We need the good times to come and get bad times to go away. Time to make some change today, so kids don't get shot when they come out and play. Everybody in the world, I need y'all to say, good times come again, bad times go away. It's time to make some change today, so kids don't get shot when they come out and play. Everybody in the world, I need y'all to say,
let's change.